Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we have a few that come on with us. Tonight, we are going to be doing a fancy fold card. I do not know the name of it, but it is pretty. This is a pre-recorded video for our Sunday Fun Day for July the 19th. Let's go over the parts that you're going to need. You are going to need some form of embellishments, and I am using a continuation of the Fern and Flora from Stampin' Up. And then you will need the same exact pattern paper. You will be doing 3 cuts. You will be doing one that is 1.5 by 5 1/4. You will need a second piece that is 1/2 by 3 1/2, and then you will need a third piece that is 1 by 5 1/4. So they are all the same exact pattern. Now I could use the other side, but it's just kind of a wash, so I liked this gingham. Then you are going to need 2 pieces of white. The first white is 4 by 5 1/4, and I used an embossing folder. This is the Fern and Flora embossing folder. Isn't that just gorgeous? And then you need a second piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. This will be going on the inside of our card. You are going to need 2 coordinating cardstocks measuring the same thing, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm using Night of Navy, some type of an embellishment, and then you need your base. Now for your base, it measures 5 1/2 by 11, and then you will do some scoring. Your first score line is at 1 3/4. The next score line is at 3 1/2, 7 1/2, 9 1/4. And then it's just going to make such a cool card when we're all done. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to grab my bone folder, and I am going to begin folding and vernishing with my bone folder. So I started with my right hand side, that 7 1/2 inch score line. I'm going to fold that into the card base and giving it really a good crispy edge. Now that other fold score line that was 9 1/4, I'm going to fold that back in on itself, and you're really going to want to varnish this good. Now let's go back to our left hand side. That score line that was 3 1/2, you are going to fold that in on itself. Varnish. And then our 1 3/4 score line, you're going to fold it back. There we go. So now it would look like this if you were standing it up. So you would have a mountain, a valley, and a mountain. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to bring in my 2 blue, these are Night of Navy, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch pieces. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossed folder. I'm going to only take one for right now. And this we're going to place on the front of that Night of Navy, or whatever colored cardstock you chose. Now since it is an embossed image, I want to be very generous with my adhesive so that I am getting enough adhesive into all those nooks and crannies. This is such a pretty embossing folder. Just double checking what I got going on here. Okay, this piece is going to get adhered to this left edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my adhesive here on this left edge now. I knew I was getting close to an end of a tape roll. And I happen to have one sitting right next to me. I thought it would have happened in last week's video, but nope, it's tonight's video. And there we go. Okay, so keeping my card base completely flat, I am taking the Night of Navy and I am going to push it all the way to the edge of my card. And then it's going to open like this. And actually, I think I want to center it. So I don't think I pushed it down firm enough yet. I should be able to get that up. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to center this over the entire front of my card base. Oh my. Alright, before I do that, I'm going to put some adhesive on this second piece because this is going to help me. Alright, I believe I need to stand up for this. I am going to center this into that blue, like so. There we go. Okay, that's going to give me the visual of where I need to place the other one. There we go. So it will hang over the edge just a tiny bit, but you have the rest to, it'll look like a sandwich. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, let's open this up because now we need to put that piece. So this is going to be your 1.5 by 5 1/4 is going to go to that far right hand side. So if I'm closing this, it is going to be on this closed section right there. So I'm just going to open it. Okay, let's center that inside this section. Perfect. Alrighty. Our 1 by 5 1/4, you are going to place this onto the back side. And you can do it either on the left or the right. That choice is yours. It's just adding that little extra something. I'm just looking over my directions, making sure I'm right. Yep, I am correct. For this one, I'm going to put it over on the left-hand side. Just, you know, for a little extra pretty, because then when I go to open the recipient, I could always add a piece of white here if I wanted. But I'm going to be adding a piece of white here. And you know what? Let's do that part next. So I'm going to get my piece of white that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to take my little 1/2 by 3 1/2. And that is going to come right down to the bottom. Tonight's pre-recorded video is because I am out of town with my girlfriends and just getting home, so I'm not sure, getting home from a scrapbook weekend. I thought I probably should do today as a pre-recorded video. Alright, so let's do our sentiment for the inside. Let's first figure out what kind of card we're making here. And I am going to use a moldy oldie from Close to My Heart called Just to Say. And there's a lot of good ones here. I'm going to bring in my little embellishment cluster because I need to see what's going to fit there. Let's see. I think I might do... I don't know. This is the part that I struggle with. Like, okay, what are we gonna do? Hello, best wishes is kind of little. Congratulations. That was just because. Ooh, I like just because, and I'm gonna do congratulations. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna place that on a block. I am using Sapphire only because my night of navy is already packed and I don't remember which bag it went into. So let's stamp congratulations in the center of this little bracket. Now this little bracket was cut from the same die set as that, as the leaves. And let's see, our inside piece. Let's see, that's a congratulations. Good things will come if you just believe. Oh, I like that. I think that is fantastic. That's a good saying. All right, block. There it is. Let's just double check. Yeah, that one's good. So I'm going to ink it and stamp. Ooh, lovely, lovely. And we're going to close up that ink pad because you know what happens. Yup. Alrighty, let's put our adhesive on here. And I'm going to place this directly onto the inside of my card. And you could do your sentiment here and write your message here if you want, or I would do then another piece of white and place it here if you wanted to add more of a message. All right, let's get ready to finish. So I am going to do that big, beautiful one. And then we're going to do that one. And then this one. And then for sure our congratulations, we are going to have foam on that. That looks lovely. So let's put some dimensionals on the back. And then we're going to begin the gluing process of our ferns. And we're going to start with our biggest one. And this is where your silicone mat would be fantastic. But again, mine is packed. And I don't know which. Okay, so I'm going to place that one down first because it is the largest one, and let's give it a little bit of pressure. Now next Sunday will be alive. I will be live with you. So we will be finishing up with the paper collection that is called Everyday Essentials, and that is from Stampin' Up. I do not have August designed yet. That first Sunday in August, which I believe is August 2nd, we will not be having a class because I will be on a ship. And I am not sure yet about the following Sunday, which would be the 9th, because we will be just getting into town at about 9 o'clock. So it will either be a pre-recorded video or no video at all. I have not decided yet because we have to see how much I get prepped prior to leaving. And going up north with my family and the girls' weekend, I'm not sure how much I am going to get done before I leave for the cruise. So we shall see. I will keep you all posted though. I might be able to squeeze in a video. We'll see, because I will need to do card class as a pre-recorded video. Okay, and let's get our congratulations. I know all those parts were probably like, oh my goodness, it's kind of scary because there's a lot of parts to this card, but as you see, it did go together pretty quickly. Okay, I'm going to place this over top. I think I want some of those stems hanging out. All right, let's place that there. Lovely. I like the little stems hanging out. And now I'm going to bring in low profile sparkle dots, and I'm kind of leaning towards the yellow. Let me just see about the blue first. Yeah, I think I want the yellow. I think that would look really pretty. So let's do some yellow dots. And of course it's stuck to my glass mat. Oh, I'll get it later. We're going to come down. No, I think I want a third one. And I think I'm going to go above like that. That looks really pretty. I like that. So let's double check that we have everything, and then it opens like this. And then you're going to close it. So this piece here is kind of free floating. Just make sure your ends are trimmed nicely. And so those two blues should line up together. The one on the back, the one on the front. Okay? And that is our fancy fold card for tonight. Isn't it amazing? I love this one. This is one I think might go into the books of Make It Again. Alrighty, so I will see you next Sunday for Sunday Fun Day, and that will be a live class, and that one will be another fancy fold. Alrighty, so you have a super Sunday and have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next weekend. Alrighty, toodles!